What's up everyone, before we get started today, I just want you guys to know about NANOLEAF. NANOLEAF is a LED company that combines a little bit of Legos and a little bit of LED lights basically. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, like combining stuff together, like just making it into different shapes like a mountain, heart, kind of the X, to give your room a little bit of vibrant feeling, then NANOLEAF is the way to go basically. And if you guys do want to support the channel, click down the link below and see if you guys can purchase anything down there basically. 10% of the things that you guys purchase there will be given to the channel. I mean, I may say so for myself, these things are pretty good to be honest. They can connect to my Twitch chat so that the chat in general can be able to like mess around with it. It can hook up to your alerts basically, and it's something that's beautiful as well. It's even brighter than the regular room lights basically, as you can see here. Look at this. Look at this. It's red and now it's turning to orange, but you guys can't see it because it's so freaking bright. Without further ado, let's get started on the video today. So if you guys haven't seen my other streams from last week, basically, twitch.tv/JKJustKidding official, basically. Link will be below. But as you would have seen from last week, I've been doing a lot of Star Wars Squadrons, basically. It was a new game that was showcased, I believe, around October 10th. And me and some of my other friends have been playing it for a long time, including a guy named Y-Wing, that Y-Wing guy. As you guys know, this game is all about aerial combat of the Star Wars universe basically. You have the New Republic, kind of like the Rebellion, kind of like this little birth of the New Republic. They're still kind of rebellion, but they're driving into themselves into the New Republic and against the Galactic Empire that are just running away basically. Not we're gonna tell the review of the specs of it, but I can tell you it's a pretty good game. If you guys want to go, if you guys are willing to find a challenge and willing to find fun in order to be able to have something easy to learn but have something hard to master, this is a game for you basically. Today we're going to be talking about not about the review or just anything funny about or just anything interesting about the game. I want to talk about, is there any strategy required for Star Wars Squadrons, like any RTS games or any other games that require a little bit of those brains. Hi, I'm JK and this is my channel. So how do we consider a game a strategy, even though it's not considered an RTS or just a strategy-based game? Well, majority of the time we can consider that if you need to depend on your teammates in order to get that teamwork together, in order to eliminate the other team. This is a good example. A good example of this kind of stuff would be from Overwatch. You cannot go into the enemy's territory when you're just outnumbered 5-1 basically. Even though you got something like ultimate, which is like the great super weapon of your hero, you still will not win because they have countermeasures. They'll work together in order to take you out. This is what I would consider as a strategy-based game. Not something of a Call of Duty kind of scenario, but more of an Overwatch scenario in which you have to work with your teammates to use the abilities to coordinate with each other in order to take out the other team. And once that happens, you are successful on that basically. And when it comes to Star Wars Squadrons, they do kind of have the same rules from both Overwatch and this game as well. You have the all-rounder, which is the X-Wing or the TIE Fighter. You have the interceptors, the TIE Interceptor or the A-Wing. You got the bombers, the Y-Wing or the TIE Bomber, and you got the support ship, the TIE Reaper or the U-Wing. Starfighter basically. Star Wars Squadrons only has a couple of modes basically. You got the co-op, which is like 4 players against 4 AI basically. You have basically the fleet battles, which is the main one. Basically you're going up against the fleet. You have objectives to be able to take out their frigates and then eventually to take out the cruisers eventually. And then you have the 4v4 dogfights as well. Majority of the time you're gonna find more strategy when it comes to the AI battles and with the fleet battles as well, because of the fact that it does require a little bit of the teamwork from your teammates, a little more communication to be able to coordinate in order to like destroy ships, like I said before. Probably the only reason why that this game kind of is a little bit associated with like strategy games is because of the fact of the rules of each ship. Like the all-rounder ship is supposed to try to go after the fighters, they can also have a versatile role when it comes to trying to deal with the frigates before going into the capital ships with their full armaments to be able to deal with both starfighter and with capital ships as well. But they're not usually strong, unlike the support ships or the bombers basically, which their roles are to try to take out the capital ships. Well, that's only the bombers basically. The support ships are usually there to like support. They're supposed to heal or just to provide the ships around you with shields to be able to provide them with that kind of backup plan in order to take out the fighters, to keep the fighters prolonged into the fight as long as possible. A lot of times the interceptor is usually used for anti-fighters majority of the time in my opinion, because they are fast, really fast, and their armaments aren't so bad either, because the fact their armaments can actually take out fighters pretty quickly, but they do lack that kind of like hull integrity, which is like their kind of health. So whenever it comes to dealing with like fighters, you do want to be careful with the interceptors. Whenever you're in one or whenever you're trying to deal with one, because they are kind of like the double-edged swords. They got all the power and speed, but they got no defense. Unlike bombers, they got all power. You know, you could probably try to be able to deal with starfighters, but that's not their role, because of the fact they're not fast. They lack the speed in order to deal with the starfighters basically. So they would not do well with starfighters, but they would do extremely well with basically capital ships, basically like the corvettes, the frigates, and the cruisers as well basically. And when it comes to all-rounder, like I said, you know, they'll probably do like, you know, both roles, trying to take out both fighters and with the cruisers as well, but they do not go exceptionally well with any of the stats. So they got average speed, hull integrity, and like attack power. That's all you'll get with like the all-rounder ships, with the X-Wing and the TIE fighters basically. So for each of these kind of like strategy required videos, I'm gonna be ranking of the skill and strategy levels that you're gonna need to bring in when it comes to like these kind of games. With skill, it's gonna be your own individual level and your own individual skill in order to deal with like enemies, or like will you be able to like do this with skill alone basically, you know, in order to win the game. For skill, I would probably like rank it with like more like a 5 out of 10 basically. It's a 50-50 of using your skill. With strategy, it's gonna be depending on like, do you need more of your teammates, do you need more of your coordination in order to beat other opponents in battle basically. And with Star Wars Squadrons, I would pretty much give it more of probably an 8 out of 10, because a lot of times, sometimes you could probably be able to like go after the enemy by yourself, but you're not going to be able to last long. You could be able to do a little bit damage against the corvettes, the frigates, and the Star Destroyers, or the MC-75 frigates. Those are the big cruisers, or just trying to take out some of the teammates as much as possible. But to be honest, you're not really going to get far without any strategy, or majority of the time like teamwork basically. Teamwork is really key into playing when it comes to Star Wars Squadrons. So if you guys really think you're going to be a hero for your team when you guys are going up against a squadron of fighters, it doesn't matter how skillful they are. It matters is like you're going to be outnumbered like 5-1, and literally they're going to have freaking frigates right there to be able to shoot you down, auto aiming you, and you're done for. I've tested it. Don't do it guys. Literally these guys, whenever you go slow to try and attack the cruisers, they are so accurate, and they're pretty damaging too. It doesn't matter too. I've tried overriding my shields to the backwards or forwards basically, in which you can do in game with any of the New Republic fighters, but it doesn't work. Please trust me on that. So the rating for this game with skill with 5 out of 10, and then with basically strategy is going to be an 8 out of 10 basically. So you're really going to be depending on your teammates to coordinate your heavy runs, your bombing runs, or attack runs. Why did I say heavy runs basically? Oh man, oh gosh. But the majority of time, strategy and the mind is needed in order to plan, to coordinate, and execute attacks onto the enemy. Can't just be there all by yourself, going Rambo, all Call of Duty MLG, up in this house to be able to go out and just take out the freaking like TIE fighters by yourself. You can't do that. You cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. You have to use your teammates. Depend on your teammates in order to win the battle in general. Also, the reason why that this video is a little bit shorter is because I don't really know a lot about the game yet, just only to the fact that, like, you know, did this game require more skill or strategy, basically. Also to the fact that I have a lot of assignments coming up for my classes and my school, so I'm trying to get more converted into that, basically. And I do have a main video about Rome 2 Total War, the faction insights for the Roman Republic or Empire, depending what you guys are on. If you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys you know, stay tuned around for that as well, in which I'll be posting these two videos both at the same time. So without further ado, you guys, thank you so much for coming out today, and for the Republic. See you guys next time, and goodbye.